One of the best practices in programming is to understand how to use loops in writing your program. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use loops in Scratch programming. I will be showing you an introduction to loops in programming. But before I continue, I would like you to subscribe, like, and comment to get more videos from Flourish Field. Let's get started without wasting too much time. All right, now, let's take, for example, we want to count from 1 to 100. We want our sprite to count from 1 to 100. Now the question is, would you rather prefer to keep saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till you get to 1000? Okay, let's take for example 1 to 20 or 1 to 10. How boring could this be? Look, I'm saying this and then I'm changing this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you put your events on it. And then you run it. Now, it's going to count from 1 to 10. But I still feel it's not a smart way to write a program as a programmer. So that is why I'm going to be introducing to you loops. Now, what is a loop? A loop is actually a set of instruction that is repeated until a condition is being met. I'll repeat myself. A loop is a set of instruction that is repeated until a condition is being met. Now, to write a loop, you only need 3 elements. Number 1, you need to initialize a variable that will keep tracking your condition. Number 2, you need a condition, just like I mentioned, a variable that is a variable in initialization. You need a condition, and then you need to increment. I'll show you what that means in this video. Now, let's take, for example, we want to improve on this code to count 1 to 10. How do we make our sprite do that? Now, first, for example, we'll pick an event, a different event, and now we're going to be using a loop. Now, loops in Scratch is this block of code that we have here. Repeat 10, forever, and then repeat until. So in this example, I'm going to be showing you repeat 10. So because we want to count a number 10 times, we're going to say repeat 10. That is, this is the condition idea. That until it gets to 10, stop whatever you have inside this block of code. For example, if you say 1, and then, but now, how do we change the 1 to 2? Because we can't just keep saying 2 also in the loop. The loop will be useless. So now to do that, we'll need a variable. Remember, we did variables in the last video. I would like you to check the video to get more information before you continue with this. So I'll be creating a variable called num, that is number. Okay. All right. So now this variable, what this variable will do is to help us count our number. This is how we're going to implement it. Remember, I said the first thing you need to do in writing a loop is to first initialize. Now, to initialize, you just come right here. You say set number, set num to equal to 0. And after you've done that, you come right there and then you attach this and say repeat 10. But now in the loop, you're going to say, after you say 1, I'm going to set number to equals 1 because we're counting from 1. So in this case now, you're going to say num. So come to variable and then say num. You see what I'm doing? You're saying num. Initially, our num is 1, so it's going to say 1. But now, what do we want our number to do after it has been printed out? That is, we want it to increment. We want it to increase. Remember I said we'll need to initialize and then set a condition. Now, this is a condition that until it gets to 10, repeats 10 times. Okay? And then now we want to increment. So how do you increment? You just come to variables again and then you set. This time around, you're going to be setting num to be equal to what? Num plus 1, because we want to increment it by 1. So you come right there, and then you say what? Num plus 1. Now, in this case, it's going to keep repeating num plus 1 until we get to 9. All right, now, this is also how to write loops. The first thing we did is to initialize our num to be equal to 1, because we want to start counting from 1. And then we set a condition that, okay, we want you to repeat this loop, whatever we have inside this place, 10 times. So this is what will happen. It's going to say num for 1 second, and then it will increment it. That's 2. It's going to say num, which is 2, and then implement it. And then let's check how this could run. But I won't be surprised if it counts to 11. I'll tell you why. I won't be surprised if this code counts to 11, and I will tell you why. All right, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Which will go to 11. Oops, it stopped at 11. I miscalculated then. All right, because you said it should repeat 10 times. Oh, sorry, it won't count to 11. Because we said it should repeat 10 times. It repeated this step 10 times. Can you see now how we improved on this code? So this code. Now, one good thing about loops is we can actually use loops to count any number. Now, watch this. For you to use this to count 1,000, you still keep duplicating, which is going to be a bit stressful and boring. Okay? But for you to count 1,000 from here, all you need to do is just to change the condition to what? 1,000. And then, that's all. When you change the condition to 1,000, you're ready to go. Now I'm going to, let me change the event of this to A, so that we don't have conflict of actions. Now let's run our code again and see. It's going to count from 1 to 1,000 now, you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It keeps going. 11 until we get to 1,000. I want to show you what's happening in the back end. So I'm going to be putting on the number, and then so that you can see. You see, number has been initialized to 0. So because we are in the loop, it's still running with the number right here. Can you see that? So it's to show you that our loops is actually working. Now, this is an introduction to loop. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to use loops in more advanced projects. I hope you understand this concept. If you do have questions, you can actually ask under the comment below. I will be glad to reply your comment, to respond to your comments. All right, before I go, I would like to chip in something good. I would like you to write a program. Yeah, I want to challenge you, my viewers, to write a program that will count even numbers from 2 to 1,000. The even numbers between 1 to 1,000. I want to see how you want to write the code. You can drop your code, send your code to the email I'll attach to this video, and then I'll be glad to cross-check and check what you've done so far. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, keep flourishing and stay blessed. All right.